And we're back. And we're back. YGS Shteigin Duh show. This is Avodah Zuh. We got the Heilige in the house. The Chavtes Amud Aleph. Chavtes Amud Aleph. Shalom to Zigri Arizalman. Shalom to Eight. Shalom to Yoel Kalfari in the Hizi. So thank you to the Vagina for recording us so late in LA. The Shebit hit us with daylight savings, but we're not letting that stop the shot.
Nice.
Chaf test. 29. Hey. 29A. Okay. So in the middle of the daf, it says, Tanu Rabbanan. Our rabbis teach us in a. Oh, nice call. Our rabbis teach us in a brisa. Shisha devarim marpiim es achola micholiav v'refuasan refuah. So there are 6 things which heal a sick person from his sickness, and the refuah is really a refuah. You know, some things they say it's a refuah, but really it's poison. You know, but some things are really refuah. Ve'eluhe, and these are them: krov, which is cabbage; tradin, which is look, we have a friend. Tradin, which is spinach. And we know that Zalman cooked some delicious spinach burekas the other day. So thank you for bringing us that healing.
My pleasure.
Umei sisin yavesha, and sisin water that is dry. Vikivas. So we have to see what is sisin water, and what does it mean to be dry water. You know, kevas maybe is like stomach. We got to see the Rashi. The haras, and the haras, the Yoseres hakaved. Yoseres hakaved is like part of the kidney that, like, not of human, of animal. You know, maybe you know because you're a chef. There's like a little thing that like sticks onto the kidney.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe you should cook it up.
You're saying the growth, or you're saying actually
Part of the kidney.
Yeah.
It's called like the addition to the kidney.
Okay, well, that's obviously where the kidney joins.
It joins what?
The filtration system from the.
Yeah, very possible. Yoseres hakavein. The yesh omrim avdag ketanim, and there are those that say that even small fish. V'lo, oh, not only that, ela shedagim ketanim ma'afrim marvim kol gubo shel adam. Small fish cause a person's body to be fruitful and multiply, the whole body of the person.
So we eat herring.
Oh, that's why we eat herring. The big Nakuda in herring. Good sushtel.
The original sushi.
The original sushi, a sushi sushtel. That's what's up. Yo, DVJ, how you doing over there in I?
I'm doing pretty good. Good morning.
Shteigin Duh.
Shteigin Duh.
In the future, we might push the shears to like maybe be an afternoon slot because of daylight savings. But we're so glad that you're able to join us today.
My Yids.
I'm super good.
My Yids. We got Charlie Sneed in the house. Shalom Aleichem, Charlie. Wow, what a stress. We got Charlie Sneed. Charlie was the guy I went to the Bohemian Grove with, and to Grand Canyon, and to the Petrified Forest. By the way, Charlie, I'm repping the Petrified Forest hat. This is Yoa. He's the year that I went to the Georgia Guidestones.
Oh, those looked cool.
Yeah, it was big missions. Big missions were had by all. So we learned about 6 things which are real healing, real refuah. Small fish, for example. Shisha. Oh wait. Asara dvarim machazirin as a chola lecholya. So there are 10 things which, if a guy's sick and he's starting to get healthy and he has it, it brings him right back to his sickness. Come on out, let's slide. I'm checking if I have a pen, but I do not know if I have one. Oh, I got one empty pen. Oh. And I got one of these type of pens. Maybe Mr. will give us the smile. I can use it. 10 things bring a sick yid back to his sickness. The wording here is a little strange because it brings the sick guy back to his sickness. If he's already sick, then what's it bringing him back to? Someone who used to be sick and then got healthy, and then came back. The cholio kasha, it makes me even sicker. And these are them. Ha'ochel basar shor, if you eat ox meat, shuman, fat, basar tzli, which is roasted meat, basar tzifrim, another type of meat, of tzifrim, maybe bird meat, but I don't think so. Beitza tzluya, a roasted egg, v'shachalim. We had shachalim yesterday. We said shachalim is like some sort of onion grass type creation. The tiglachas and the shave, the mirchatz and the shower. I would think sometimes the shower makes you feel better. I don't know. The gvina. Well, maybe you talk about back in the day when you had to like go outside to shower and like you get cold. Maybe that was the shot. Nowadays, you have showers in the house. Back in the day, you had to go outside and like go to walk, go to the bathhouse and then walk back.
Hard to have a good schwitz back then.
It's hard to have a good schwitz back then. That is true. True words. Never spoken back in the day. The gvina and cheese, the kaved and liver. The yesh orim af egozin. And some people say even an egos, even a walnut. The yesh orim af kashuim. Harry just learned that an egos might make a person sicker. If they're sick and they're eating egos, it's all downhill from there. Too much hate. But even the gematria, because egos gematria hate. So the Mishnah Berurah says not to eat egos during a ceremony tshuva, but if you actually do the math, it's one off. So it happens to be like one of my least favorite things that the Mishnah Berurah ever said, that not to speak lashon hara on the Baal Shmir Salashon. But I just don't get it. Anyways, the Yesh Omer Alpha Kashuim, but some people say even squash. Kana debay Rabbi Yishmael. Rabbi Yishmael taught, how Rabbi Yishmael taught in the Baraisa. Lama Nikra Shman Kashuim. Why is their name called Kashuim? Why are they called Kashuim? It's squash. Why are they called Kashuim? Zak the Gemara, Mipnei Shehem Kash in the Kogufo Sha'adam Kicharavos, because they're hard to the person's body like swords. Kshuim. So they're called Kshuim because they're kasha. All right. We're down to the 2 dots. And I think, by the way, Rabosai, we finally finished all of the medical stuff. For the last 2 weeks, we've been dealing with medical stuff. And I think that we got to the 2 dots. Now we're going to start a new Indian after we see the Rashis. So we said 6 things heal a person's body. And the refuah is a real refuah, the Gemara says. Refuah son refuah. And I like that. I like that nod to the fact that some things people say are refuah, but they're not really refuah. Here it's refuah son, refuah. So the Gemara mentioned a bunch of stuff. Let's see what Rashi decides to talk about. So we said the Gemara says cabbage and spinach and maize season. We didn't know what maize season was. Rashi says poliul yavesh shura b'mayim v'shoseh. So you take this dry thing, right? Because we said, what do you mean the dry seasoned water? Or like dry water. But shot dry water. How could you have dry water? So as you're saying, it's the water of dry season. And so what season? The Gemara says it's pulio in French. The Hagos Tziyunim take us down, and they say it's a minta hagadel mekomos lachim. So it's a type of dry mint that grows in wet places. And you take that dry mint and you put it in water, and that's like a real refuah. That's meisisin. And it says, and haras is rachma shel behema, the womb of an animal. You ever eat a womb? You ever cook up some good womb burgers?
Not recently.
Not recently. Then Yoseres HaKaved, it's a tarfasha the kavda shekorin the avrish. So it's Yoseres HaKaved is part of the liver. Everyone knows Yoseres HaKaved, the word in Hebrew, but to actually know the English taich is not known to me. The Gemara says hamachitza shebeemtza habeten. So it's like a stomach in the middle of the. Sorry, it's a wall or a separator, a barrier in the middle of the stomach. Hamavdel is being evarei hamachal the evarei hadeshima, and it kind of is the barrier between the limbs and the organs that breathe and the organs that digest. It's called Yoseres HaKaved. You ever make Yoseres HaKaved hot dog?
No.
No. All right, so we got what to grow and learn, and maybe new types of animals, new types of meat. And its refuah is a real refuah, says the Gemara. And then there are 10 things which make a person even sicker, right? So we said ox meat and fat and fried meat or roasted. What's tzli? Roasted? Yeah, roasted. Tzli. Korban Pesach has to be tzli, right? On like a spit, right? Roasted?
Yeah, over an open flame.
Over open flame, that's right. And roasted eggs. And we said bazar tzifrin. So Rashi doesn't tell us what bazar tzifrin. Maybe it really is bird meat. The Beitza Tzuluya and Beitza Tzuluya, the Shechal, we said yesterday was like onion grass.
What I think was ginger grass.
Ginger grass?
That's what we said.
All right, ginger grass. We got an iPhone in the house. We don't know to which yid it belongs, but we're saying Shalom Aleichem anyways. To the yid on the iPhone.
Shmuley, I gotta go to bed, but great seeing you, great meeting you guys.
Yeah,
I'll
good
be joining
stag,
soon.
Charles. Much love. Lada tov.
Much love.
And also a haircut, tiglachatz, a shave, a mirachatz. And we said, wait, showering is not good for a sick person? So we said like this, that showering back then, you had to go outside, go to a shower, and then come back. And so it's not good if you're like, if you're sick, like to be like wet and cold. So Chazal knew that. It says, Mara. Also, doesn't even explain. Rashi doesn't even explain any of these things. He said the egozim, the kishuvim, fine. We finished the healing stuff. So Shkach should be a segula for all of us to heal, for all of Am Yisrael, for all of humanity. Now we're going right there. Next sugya in Maseches Avodah Zarah. Tanu Rabba, we're actually going back to the Mishnah, back to quoting the Mishnah, that the Mishnah had two clauses. We actually learned this Mishnah at the Grand Canyon. That was a Grand Canyon Shteig. Seems like forever ago. Oh, Charlie just left. He was there for the Grand Canyon Shteig. So it says that what you can heal from them, right? It says you can heal from them, report mamu, but not report nefashos. And we spoke about what's the difference between those two types of healing that you can get from an idolater, and we spent 3 dapim just like talking about healing. Now we're moving on to the next part that you can never get a haircut from an idolater. Different Rabbi Meir. Rabbi Meir, whose rabbi, Elisha ben Avuya, actually went over to become one of these idolaters, one of these shibudnikim. He says, don't trust them ever to cut your hair. Me and Yoel actually got a haircut. Remember right before the show in Florida? We went to that haircut place and I got them to give me a shave. And they put a snake. So that was from, the guy did not do a great job. I was like, oh, it's my last time getting a haircut from an idolater. Listen, we've all done some stuff.
Did you mention beets before? I didn't hear you mention it.
I was talking about spinach. Do they say trad in his beets? The kevas?
They say cabbage, beets.
Yeah, so we said Trajan is, we said Trajan is spinach, but Art Scroll says beets. We are a little bit skeptical because we know there's a different word for beets, and Trajan always means spinach. But Art Scroll, listen. So it could be beets, could be spinach. Good Nakuda. So that's Ray Meir. He says, don't get a haircut from an idolater ever. The Chavim say, versus a Rabbim is mutter, but not when it's in public. I mean, you can get a haircut from an idolater at like a store, like, or maybe that's not even considered versus a Rabbim. More it's considered public domain because a lot of people are around. But definitely you can't like have him come to your house and like give you a haircut, like one-on-one. Okay. So that's the part of the Gemara that we're talking about. Tana Rabbana, the rabbis taught us in Price, Gevalde, Yisrael Hamistaper Me'ove Kochavim. So an Israelite which gets a haircut from an idolater, Roeh B'Mareh. So we should see in a mirror, maybe. Maybe that's what it means. You should see in a Mareh. And an idolater who gets a haircut from an Israelite, once he gets to his bangs, I think blurus is like bangs. Do you have tissue, by the way?
Yeah, there's tissues.
Once he gets to his bangs, shomed as yado, just take his hand off. So what? Is this like telling us what the idolater should do? Oh, so saying that this is a mitzvah for an idolater. If you're getting a haircut from an Israelite, don't let him touch your the bangs of the idolater. We gotta see exactly what's the Gemara telling us with that. Amar Bar, the master said, Yisrael mistaber me'agum ra b'mara. So the guy just said that the Israelite that gets a haircut from the idolater should be looking in the Mara. We said maybe that's a mirror. Hey Chidami, how is it? What exactly is it saying? If it's talking about in public domain, so then why do I need a mirror to show me what's going on? There he is around. He's not going to just come and slit my throat or cut my face or cut my neck or whatever, smash me over the head with scissors. He's not going to do that. Just rob him. Even versus a yachid, and it's just a yachid by hobby. Well, big deal. What? You're going to be able to see him kill you? Like, big deal. You're watching in the Mara. How's it going to help? So it says the Gemara, the Olam versus a yachid. Really, it's talking about in private domain. The Keva de Ikamara Mischazi ke Adam Chashuv. Since he has a mirror, he seems like an important guy. The idolater is not going to kill this guy. He's like, this guy's a mirror holder. Like I can kill like some Chaim Yankel off the street that's got no mirrors. If he's got a mirror, that's like past my limit. You know, iPhone guy. We got a yid on silent with an iPhone. Just watching share. I would say Shalom Aleichem. We always like to steig with the randos, with the anonymouses. Anyways, Rav Chana Bar Bizna, you all ever hear of Rav Chana Bar Bizna? He's a rare guy. He only comes up a few times in Shas, if any, if it's more than once. Rav Chana Bar Bizna have a mistaper. What do we know about this Rav Chana Bar Bizna? He liked to eat good haircuts. And so he was getting a haircut from an idolater, Bishvile de Naharda, on the streets of Naharda in Bavel. Amar le Chana Chana Yai Koich Lizuga. So I think a zuga is scissors, and Yai is nice, like kilo na'eh, kilo ya'eh. Right?
There it says razor.
Razor, scissors, yeah. It's good, it's good. Before, I know you're looking into the English, and it's okay. But let's see the Gemara, then see the Rashi.
Okay.
You know, like my Rebbe always taught me, that when you're in the Gemara, you're in the Gemara. When you're in the Rashi, you're in the Rashi. Art scroll could be a crutch because it doesn't let you figure out what the Gemara is saying. It just throws the answer right in your face.
Mm-hmm.
And like you try to like figure it out. But we're having temporary allowing of art scroll in share just because of the
Appreciate that.
few, the
Shteigin Duh.
paucity of Gemara. What did you say, DVJ?
Shteigin Duh.
Shteigin Duh. Shteigin Duh. So Yai Korech Lezuga, scissors, a razor. Amar Tesili the Avri Adu Rabbi Meir. He's like, so we don't know what Koech is yet. But he says, Tesili, give him to me because I was over on Rabbi Meir. Right? Rabbi Meir says never can you get a haircut from the Nakum. And so he says, Tesili, or whatever koich is. Let's see what koich is. It's a word that I'm not familiar with. Let's see if Rashi gives us some help. But he was over right there. Ask the Gemara of Adir Abanan Lo Avar. What? This guy's not over on the Derabanan? Imor de Amor Abanan versus a Rabin versus a Yachid mi Amor. So yeah, the Rabbanan says that you can do a haircut in Rosh Hashanah versus a Yachid, you can't do it. And I guess these paths in Narda were considered Rosh Hashanah. That's why he said I was only over on Rav Meir, because he thought, I'm going good according to Rabbanan, because these shvilim are Rosh Hashanah, Rosh Hashanah. Comes the Gemara and says they're actually Rosh Hashanah streets. Yeah, but he stayed because there's so many people there that it was like Rosh Hashanah, so it was only over on Rav Meir. Okay, let's see exactly what happened in that story. We got to the two dots again, by the way, you're both saying. So it says B'mara. Rashi says, right? Because the Gemara says that if you're getting a haircut from an idolater, you should see in the Mara. And Rashi says, it says it's a mere doer. It's a re'i, right? Liros imistaper yafa be'umanu. See if he's doing good. The sabar oveg ochavim. See the, and so the idolater thinks keva dekabir ahachi chashivu. Since he's like so much to make sure he gets a good haircut, he's like watching. This guy's like he's not his first rodeo. He knows a good haircut. And he's like watching to make sure that he gets the good haircut. He must be an adam chashivu umisyara lahargo, right? He's like it's not just like if I kill this guy, it'll cause an international incident. I can't just like get a quick yid kill, So it says when an idolater is getting a haircut from a yid, it says once it gets to the bloiris, which I translated as bangs, It says Shehu Megada, that he's growing for idolatry purposes. So Shomer es Yado. Bikodem lekach shalosh etzbaos lekol ruach kedelekom kedei shelo haya shelo yehi mitkaneh. So before you even get to the bangs, 3 finger width on all sides, maybe of this side, you should haircut so that it's not misconduct. So it doesn't get angry. Like, you cut my Heligobloris, says the idolater. And then it tells us a story. About Rochana Bar Bizna, that he was getting a haircut from an idolater in the Shvile Narda. It says the Shvile Narda, Rashi says, Chutz Le'ir, outside of the city. As he was getting a haircut or a shave. And so he says, Chana Yai Koich Lezuga. Oh, so he says, beautiful is your neck for this scissors or for these razors. Basically saying, like, bro, I can just kill you right now. You know? I can just murder you right this second. B'shvili Dinarda. He's like, I can just kill you right now. Amar Tasili, he's like, do it. Like, I deserve it because I was over on Rabbi Meir. Right? And then Rashi says again, Shvile Dinarda. He says, Shasham over in Meshavim Tadim. There's always Yids. So he's like, I deserve it because I was over Rabbi Meir. Where I says, wait, you're saying you're only over Rabbi Meir? I'll tell you that you were actually over on the Rabbanan also because it was actually Rosh Hashanah Yachid. He says, no, because there are a lot of people there, so it's like Rosh Hashanah. 2 dots. Again. V'ovei kochavim mistaper mi-Yisrael. And Kevan Shegil the Glorizo, once he gets to his bangs, he moves his hand away. By the way, there's a few more lines, and then we get to the next Mishnah. Kadosh Baruch Hu should give us Siyata D'Shmaya. Whereas DVJ says, Kadosh Baruch Hu is giving us Siyata D'Shmaya. So Vikama, so how much? Amar Rav Malchia, says Rav Malchia, Amar Rav Adabarava, says Rav Adabarava, Shalosh Etzbos, the go Ruach Veruach. So it seems to be 3 finger lengths to each side. Amar Rav Chanina, Bereder Rav Ika. So Rav Chanina, the son of Rav Ika, says, Shafud Shivchos the Gumos. So he says, Shibud Shvachos the Gumos, which are, I guess, are 3 dimensions of the hair. But we gotta see Rashi. Rav Malchav Bloris Afar Mikla. Afar Mikla is like Afer, you know, ashes. Afer Mikla. And this is and Gavina. So we gotta see what exactly going on. Rav Malchia. Amar Baba Maznizin Umazniza Rav Malchia. Shmaitida Rav Malchav. So say, wait a second, Rav Malchia or Rav Malchav, right? There's 2 different years. So he says, no, the Mishnah and the Brisa is Rav Malchia, but the Shmaitita, like the one who learned it out from the Amoraim, that's Rav Malchav. The Simna, and how you remember that? Masnisa Malchaza. You remember that the Mishnah is king. So you know that it's Rav Malchia is in the Mishnah. My benayu, ik benayu shifchos. So what's the difference? This idea of shifchos, right? We just 3 fingers. Then Rav Malchav says like these 3 specific dimensions. He says the difference is shvachais. So we gotta see what that is in the Rashi. But Shkaya, we finish down to the Mishnah. So the Bloriso Shu, right? He's not going to be angry and zealous, like you touched my Bloris. So he says the shipud is by the ein tzadin b'maseches beitza. So like the sides, he takes away the sides. Shefachos is in this kesubis. It's ba'ap beis aleph ayin pei rosh tevos. I don't know. Gumos is in nida bava siman hani. So these three things, hani plus shmaited the Rav Malchav amrinu mishmei Rav Adabar Ava. He says the name of Adabar Ava. So I guess 3 dimensions of the hair that they're not cutting. So you say the blower is over here, right? So it says Avar Mikla. We're gonna go back into the Gemara just to theorize this completely. It says Avar Mikla. It says in Makos. So all of these things seem to be references to other Gemaras. Afar Mikla is in Makos in the last parak. Lo yidin Afar Mikla al Gabe Makazo. Person shouldn't put these ashes or dirt on his wound. Mibnei sheniris kisuvas kakea. It looks like a person has a kakea, a tattoo. Avar mikla is avar akira. So avar mikla is actually ashes from the stove. Shekaloi v'saruf me'od, very burnt. V'shachor and black. The nira kisuvas kakea. Someone has that on their body. It's like, oh, it has a tattoo over here, so you can't do it because Mars ayin. And it says Gavina. It says I'm talking about our parent. Amar Rav Malchia, Amar Rav Adabar Ava. So Rav Malchia says the Adabar Ava. Machlikin panea b'shuman chazir. So why can't you have Gavina from an idolater, right? You say, oh, maybe it's not Chal of Yisrael, but happens to be that we know that cheese the only thing that becomes cheese is cow milk. Pig's milk, rabbit's milk does not curdle. Is this true?
Goat's milk,
Well, goat's milk is also kosher.
I wouldn't know about.
You wouldn't know about pig's
Cow
milk?
milk.
Cow milk? I don't know. This is something I heard a long time ago. But l'chaira, so what would be the problem of having Gavinas Akum? So the Gemara, in a few pages down, tells us that because they put pig's fat on the cheeks to make it glimmering. You know?
So you're saying what? It's cow's milk cheese, but they're just give it a glaze?
Yeah, we're worried that they're going to give it a glaze of pig fat. Listen, some people like their cheese with crackers. Others like their cheese with pig milk, pig fat. You know?
Bacon cheeseburger.
Bacon cheese burger.
Well,
That's the
obviously, that was the kind of practice back in the day.
Yeah, back in the day, they would make their cheese even more delicious.
Well,
pig
I don't know
fat.
if it was that. It was probably just to prevent it from oxidizing further.
Oh,
Levels to the game.
levels to the game.
There's been a few things that they were getting from this.
Yeah, that they got. Me and Harry are like, oh, it sounds delicious. He's like, well, technically, the oxidization, thinking like a chef.
It's the nature of this oil that cooks something and creates like a coating around it from oxidizing.
Yeah, Gavaldi,
Oils that won't-
Geschmack.
Pizza from sport.
Yes.
So it says Masnisa nu Masnisa. So it says Hanach the Imar a Perusha the Masnisin and the Brisa. So our Mishnah and our Brisa is Rav Malchia. The Hanach the Imar Shmaited the Babin Avshayim, and those they just said like a vort by themselves, and they don't have like a Messiah for it. If you're quoting a Mishnah, it's Rav Malchia. If they're just saying it, that's Rav Malchav. The low ifrush the masniza, that's Rav Malchav. And we know that because masniza is Malchia, Malchus. The Mishnah is king. The most vinan mina. Because we can ask questions from a Mishnah. Someone who just says like some board from like his boy, we're not going to ask questions on it. Oh, but this guy said, who cares? I'll bring a Mishnah. It's a different story, you know. Mishnah is king over here. Masnisa Malchusa. Rav Malchia Shmo Dome Linekeva. And Rav Malchia is his name, and it's close to a girl's name. It's similar to a girl's name, but Malchia. I mean, I guess Malchasa is queen, actually, right? Like Shabbos Malchasa. My main eye, what's different between Rav Papa and Rav Chanina? Even which we said we don't even know what it is. The Shvachos, the Shafchos. The Ogi Rav Chanina, there's a huge Rashi right now. The Ogi Rav Chanina, Rav Malchav. Rav Chanina says like Rav Malchav. Rav Papa says like Rav Malchia. Ume'ayo Afar Mikla, Rav Malchav. And he brings up this idea of Afar Mikla, like Rav Malchav. The Hanach plus these three things, Shapud, which is like a what's the thing in English? A spit. And Elfar Mikla and Gumos, which is like gooey stuff, I guess. Shmaitza Nidu. That we have Masorah for. The Loam has Nisan Kaima, Ella Shvachos. And it's not talking about our Mishnah except for these things of Shvachos. You don't even know what it is. Amar of Malchi, or Malchi says, Halacha Rabbi Eliezer. The halacha is like Rabbi Eliezer. The Amar of Mishnah says in our Mishnah, Avilu Ichnizu Lomea Shvachos. So I guess Shvachos is maidservants. It's in Masechet Shuvas they talk about it. Kovalasos Mitzemer Bloris. You make them do with wool their hair. The Haka Mitzemer the Zion. The Chain Bloris, and so too Bloris, the Haka, and the Bloris, the bangs that's talking about, the hairdo that's talking about over here. Perusha Dimasnisa Kai. It's a parish on the Mishnah. It's not just saying something by himself. He's actually saying a parish on the Mishnah. The Katani La'el, and it says above, Shome as Yado. They take your hand away. The Azi'ilu Lefruje Siora. Because he's going to go and, right, he's going to tell you exactly what you should cut, what you shouldn't cut. The Chen Gavina, and also cheese, the Ketani Maziz, and it says in the Mishnah, these are the things that you cannot have from the idolater. Amrina Mipnei Ma Asu Gavino Sa'akum. Why can't you have idolatrous cheese? Uperish Rav Malchia. So that's Rav Malchia. How do you know Rav Malchia? Because Rav Malchia is saying Pshat and Mishnah. Rav Malchav just says things like from himself. And that which the Gemara says that there is a difference between Rav Papa and Rav Chanina. We'll go back in the Gemara and see what exactly is what. The Lonakat Shifos and Afar Mikla, Amilsa to Rav Malchia, the Esnach Be Rav Papa is similar. He just took an example. Okay, let's go back into the Mishnah, the Gemara real quick. Bikama. So how much of the bangs do you need to leave? Amar of Malchia. So Malchia says in the name of Rav Ada Bar Ava. Shalosh is supposed to go raw. Says Rav Chanina. Says Rav Chanina. Berei Derav. He says, well, you have these cases of the spit and the maidservant and the gumos. And Rav Malchav says, Bloris, Afar Mikla, and Gvina. Rav Malchia. Amar Rav Papa Masnisit, Rav Malchia. Shmaitida is Rav Malchav, and that's the simon. So what's the difference between what Rav Papa is saying and what Rav Chanina is saying? Is this case of Shvachos, that it's in Ksubis in Perek Afal Pi. Doesn't tell us Makor, doesn't tell us nothing. Amanda Gemara to end the Mishnah. DVJ, Shteigin Duh?
Shteigin Duh.
Shteigin Duh. This is a really strange thing that the Gemara just ended with.
I know, but we're talking about Shifchas. It's perfect.
Shifchas, I know, you love that. And that's the difference. The nafkamina is the shifcha between Rav Papa and Rav Chanina. But the nafkamina in what? What is going on here? Because Rav Chanina says it's like Rav Malchav, and Rav Papa says it's Rav Malchia. That's the difference. Sometimes we're not sure when something is said by Rav Malchia, sometimes we're not sure it's Rav Malchav, and there's a disagreement between Rav Chanina and Rav Papa. Which one of them said shivchos? Some din that has to do with shivchos. It's not Clark who said it. I'm not 100% sure why the Gemara comes and brings us this thing about Rav Malchia and Rav Malchav, but Mirz Hashem, upon further Chazara, we'll be able to say a pshat. But for today, we finished the healing stuff, and Mirz Hashem tomorrow, sometime in the afternoon, so that it's not too late, because daylight savings, so Shlomo couldn't come today, and DVJ had to be crazy Moser Nefesh and stay up till 1 a.m. And we are eternally grateful to DVJ. Shkayach Kadosh, Shkayach to everyone who came. Tomorrow, Mirz Hashem, we're going to figure out a time, and we'll be in touch. We're going to see a big Mishnah tomorrow, and we're going to go on to 29b. So
Nice.
much love to everyone.
Much love,
Piggity peace. Shkayach Gadol. Shkayach Gadol. Until next time. Shteig.